Santa Mesa is a home for the lower to middle class communities of Manila. Life in Santa Mesa is busy, yet simple. Being close to a lot of the major developments in Manila, the city has been home for a lot of the working population. Santa Mesa had a lot of history, from being a battleground to one of the significant developing areas in the 60s that helped Manila's rise. As the capital city grew, slowly, the city of Santa Mesa became less significant. It had become a place of settlement for the local residents of Old Manila, while the center skyrocketed its urban development. The location of the city is one major factor for its sudden change in function. In the old times, Pasig River was the most significant bridge between merchants and traders. As the river got polluted, the city also lost its connection. Now, the community of Santa Mesa is considered a developing one, with the presence of a major educational institution and the growing number of high-rise commercial buildings in the proximity. The city is moving towards its urban development, and with the growing community, the city also got busier. Every city has its own featured public landmarks that they are known for. With Santa Mesa, this is Bacood Park. However, it seemed like the small triangular piece of land was slowly losing its significance due to the amount of vehicular traffic surrounding it. Less and less people have been using the park due to lack of activities and unsafe accessibility. Our project ANGAT-BUHAY is a redesign of Bacood Park and its main access points through a multi-level bridge that extends and connects the prominent features of the neighborhood through pedestrian movement, separating it from the busy traffic flow from underneath and creating a more stimulating environment for the people of Santa Mesa. We intend to create this project as a connected public space for the growing community of Santa Mesa that would also serve a potential center of the city that could attract future developments in the region. Our conceptual framework revolves around the definition of urban parks and its relation to the variety of people in the community. Urban parks are significant features of city developments. They create an environment of consistent human interaction and connection within the society. It relates the individual private spaces with each other that creates this notion of belonging and inclusivity. Specifically in the case of Santa Mesa, with the people being students and low-income earners, the more common places of interaction are the streets and local markets. As the context of a developing city is also taken into consideration, the objective is slightly geared towards economic development. With this, studies regarding consumer behavior, specifically for the lower range of the social class spectrum, are applied to the design for more effective results. In a contextual aspect of creating an urban park, factors such as local culture and matching surrounding elements are also considered along with the classification and identification of the diverse kinds of people in the community. As majority of the people in Santa Mesa are students and members of the working class that undergo a lot of stressful activities every day, the urban park design is supposed to approach as a chill and unwinding place that would respond to the daily needs of the people. In addition, with the constant busy flow of the streets, the urban park should respond accordingly as well. After all these considerations are applied, the urban park can be considered substantial and efficient. From the existing similar urban parks, one precedent comes close to the objectives of our project. The SHIELLER 7017 in Seoul, Korea, also known as the Seoul Sky Garden, is an urban redesign project of a former highway overpass. The walkway park was made to preserve the historical significance of the overpass that connected the east and western sides of the city, while creating an environment that would go along with the modernization of the city. SHIELLER 7017 helps certain underdeveloped districts of Seoul to strive and match the setting of the capital. This project helped define the necessary elements of urban projects crucial to the underdeveloped parts of the city. Because of the connection that was made from simply improving accessibility, some places could now have a chance to be a part of the urban development from the surrounding areas. Santa Mesa has the same relation with Manila. The small changes from within the specific parts of the city could drastically affect the flow of progression within and around the city. By prioritizing the smallest members of the community, the pedestrians, we can create windows of opportunities for wider scale developments for the future. Summarizing our ideas and goals, here is our project statement. Redesigning and expanding the existing Bacolod Park can address low-income stakeholders by creating an elevated space that can provide an accessible area for both business owners and consumers. This ensures that the park will give them the safety, opportunity, and inclusion that they need.
The bridge design concept that we came up with is composed of 5 main parts: the 2-floor elevated walkway bridge, the amphitheater, the marketplace, the basketball court, and an open park, which is based on how we want the users to use the space to create an open community that connects by giving direct, safe, and easy access to dropping points throughout the elevated walkways. When creating the form of the bridge, we trace the line of the road or the street circulation of the area to generate a bridge to make a connection from a line to point on both ends. Then from the original triangular form of the public space, Bacolod Park, we transformed it into an amphitheater to be the main access point to the elevated bridgeways. The bridge is formed and built to give direct and safe access to people towards their destinations, while the top level will serve as a marketplace to keep the area active during the daytime and nighttime.
After the series of arrangements and changes in accordance with the surrounding elements of the area, we have this form. As we can see from the site development plan, the walkway park extends from the original Bacolod Park triangle, now translated to an amphitheater. The school from the north and branching out on the residential blocks in the proximity. In order to create a smooth flow of pedestrian movement, multiple access points from the major streets within the vicinity are provided. This is also made to encourage the use of the public walkway. Moving on to the different sectors of the project. First, we have the amphitheater. The amphitheater is what replaces the old triangle of Bacolod Park. This space is meant to be used for the major community events and gatherings, as it is the center of the key elements of the city. This space also doubles as a grand staircase that would give the silhouette of the landmark. The open grounds are well emphasized with a different floor tile pattern to distinguish it from the sidewalks. Natural elements like the trees will be kept as it is from the original state. Next, we have the Bridge Park. The Bridge Park serves both as a pedestrian walkway and tambayan. In order to promote a walkable community, the Bridge Park extends to the different public checkpoints that most people walk along. In order to address the fast-paced, stressing environment from the schools and workplaces and the lack of life in the looks of the concrete residential blocks, the bridge is designed with local green spots. This is also made to promote a natural-looking and natural-feeling ambience, especially due to the fact that the surroundings are already polluted. Another interesting feature from the Bridge Park is the use of kinetic walkable paths that help generate electric energy that helps sustain the lights and minor facilities of the walkway. For the third main feature, on the uppermost level of the walkway park, we have the marketplace. The spot gives the walkway park its life. Marketplaces are naturally brimming with social interaction, and this area is no different. From food stalls to local shops, the upper level becomes a typical street market made for the masses. The marketplace is placed at a different level to better organize the flow of movement within the structure. People who would pass through the bridge from one point to another would not need to be bothered by the swarm of pedestrians from the stalls, and the people enjoying their time can have their own space designated for them, while still feeling the overlooking view of the surroundings. At one end of the walkway is a recreational park. Mainly to cater the youth and elderly population, the recreational park, based from the original Bacood Park layout, is kept present and placed on a more accessible area for the local residents. As much as we wanted to redevelop and redesign the area, there will be people who would prefer the typical park feeling of playgrounds and just a simple natural environment. A basketball court is also connected to the walkway near the school, which gives a lot of room for the students to move around and do sports. In order to respond to the aging population and PWDs among the users, the walkway can be accessed through elevators aside from the regular stairs. Lastly, materials used for the walkway resembles that of natural materials like wood and stone. This is done to provide a subtle look to contrast the massive superstructure that covers the street of Santa Mesa. Some spots also apply translucent materials in order to keep light pass through underneath and maintain natural light along the street level. Santa Mesa is a developing urban city, and we should always remember that a community starts its development with the people living in it. From the people of the past, our elders, we preserve their legacy and culture. For the people of the present, our workers and residents, we give them means to maintain their workflow and life. And for the people of the future, the youth, we give them a better life by allowing opportunities to rise from all around them. From how the developments of urban projects in the Philippines are, especially in the capital, most establishments cater to the already developed business districts. We forget that the small communities we have are also part of these developments. ANGAT-BUHAY, which also translates to Rise in Life, is a project that not only builds buildings, but also builds life.